Greetings one and all, my name is Lancer and welcome back once again to Chainsaw Man. We'll be rewatching episode 5 and last time on. Denji was accosted by the leech devil, but then saved by Aki and Gon. And well, he came to an agreement with them, just like, hey, just do what I say and I'll swipe this incident under the rug. And well, now power has come to Denji and being like, hey, we have a deal. 3 squeezes all you get. Just foyer into something interesting. Let's get right into the episode. The first endeavor. Jesus Christ. I remember waiting a week for this shit. Right to it, huh? Right, of course. Deception. That was only one, all of that? Okay. If that's the case, just... I don't think those two things equated. Makima, you say? Life-changing? I guess. I mean, you gotta be careful with what I say here. It is life-changing, depending. I remember that scene being longer. I'll just leave it at, you could have done worse. Yeah, you're not sleeping that night. I love this. Jump! Blood is on autopilot. Even the paperwork gets ASMR. No, you don't.
俺はずっと追いかけていたもんをやっと掴んだんです。でもいざ掴んでみるとそんなもんは
God, the framing of this show it is artistic. This is just one of those shows where just every frame is a painting. I mean, other than the Gooner side of it, just like, oh, woman. But it's perfect. Just, he's so close to it, but yet it's out of focus. What is the truth of what he desires? It's about the journey, not the destination, right? At least he's honest. Jesus. Did you have to throw everything off? She could do anything to him and it would be better than what he experienced. Right, of course. There you go. Arguably, like, one of the most iconic shots in this whole series. I know at least, like, when the first trailer for this came out, like, it showed this shot, and it's just like, holy shit. You know, hold up. Peak may be on the way. I mean, this show just has so many of those scenes. It depicts romance in a very interesting light. It's one thing watching it for the first time back then, because, I mean, even fucking 3 years ago when this came out, I was younger, you know, I was, like, 20 when this came out, and I was definitely much more naive to certain things way back then as opposed to now. And obviously, you know, I'm still very young in the scheme of things. I'm 23, but I've learned a lot even in just those few years. And, you know, obviously back then a scene like this was just like, monkey, ooh. You know, and now, like, though it's a really good and well done scene, this show has so many of just those like intimate moments like this. I mean, this episode alone, Jesus, we had like 2 of them in the span of 10 minutes. I mean, she is right about that, you know, where it's just any of that kind of stuff, you know, affection with somebody, sex, just any of that kind of stuff. It is better when you know the person, when you grow attached to them, because otherwise it's just a fling, it's just a whatever thing. I mean, it may be great at the time, but it's also just like, did it really mean anything to you aside from just your carnal, primal desires? That's what I was just saying. Anything she does to him right now will be better than what he experienced because he's so, like, in love with her at this point. If she's using that to her benefit, get him to do what she wants. But, you know, I'm very curious to learn a lot about, like, the other people in this organization. It's like, what did she do to get them to fall in line? Because Aki is also in love with Makima, but obviously it's different than how Denji views her. Though maybe not, because, you know, he also is not that much older than Denji. But obviously she's gonna handle Denji differently just because, like, he's young, he's naive, he's inexperienced. So she's gonna play with that and do stuff like this. funny comparison, but it reminds me of Askeladd and Thorfinn in Vinland Saga. I'll tiptoe around specific spoilers, but Askeladd gives Thorfinn a promise, an idea of something that Thorfinn wants. Just like, hey, if you go off and do this for me, I'll do this thing for you. It's kind of the same thing here, where it's, you know, Makima's doing all this for Denji, just like, oh, remember this taste. And then I'm pretty sure right after this, she tells him to like go off and do this mission. So it's just like, give him a taste of that pleasure and he'll want more, and just give him a little bit of that each time. And then he'll go off and do more and more of these suicide missions. I'm ranting a lot about this, but I mean, it's kind of deeper than what you give it credit for. This show has a lot of that. I mean, that's the fun part of rewatching it. Again, like I never would have made that comparison back when I watched the show for the first time because I hadn't watched Vinland Saga yet. I mean, this is just a more in-your-face version of that. Just remember it well.
Oh boy,
Good boy. Oh, right. I don't know why I thought this was a different scene. I liked the brief, like, shock look on her face as he fell back. Yeah. Now there's your angel. Of course it appeared in America. There's many gun devils today still. But anyway, yeah, going immediately from that to this. God, it's so obvious now. But I mean, that kind of just speaks to that in general, you know? Back when I was younger, I mean, even back when I was 20 watching this, I still should have known. But I mean, I did know, but it's just, you go through more experiences and stuff. It's just like, you look at this so much differently. She has him wrapped around her finger. And this is why I love Makima just as a character in this story. This show definitely was probably watched by a lot of people who are around Denji's age. You know, at the time, you know, fucking gooners and all that. Just absolutely, yes, Mamika. I don't even know if ironically I can even be like, yeah, I would too. I mean, but she, you know, set that up all perfectly. It's like, touching different parts of me and getting this feeling and then doing that. It's just like, Again, I very much want to know the story of Makima from before all this. He's not even hearing what she's saying, really. Just like, yes, I'll do it. Any. If you're Denji. I did say that. I mean, it's like, if you can even beat him. I mean, it all comes back to like episode 1, you know, just her being like, oh, I like the Denji type, you know, the type that I can manipulate and use to my benefit. Yeah, and it only gets more powerful. The gun devil is probably the most powerful right now, especially in America. Mm.
太陽の具合が良くないんだ。
太陽が元気な時なんてないじゃん。
お兄ちゃんなんだから。
僕、お兄ちゃんと遊びたい。
If anything, you should have been reading the Big Bad Wolf story, huff and puff and blow your house down.
ついてくんなよ。俺は一人で遊べるんだ。やめろって言ってるだろ。
And he would cherish this memory forever, the last time he got to play with his brother.
お前が風邪ひくと、俺が怒られんだよ。手冷たくならないだろ。家からグローブ取ってこい。
Why did he come here, though? That's still what I don't get. Jesus.
120万人を殺した後、銃の悪魔は今日まで姿を消している。
Yeah. I mean, it's great setup for whenever he fights them eventually, just because how do you fight that? It's like fighting a force of nature, fighting a hurricane.
少しでも弱くするために。
Even despite that, I bet Americans were just like, you can't take away our guns, even though there's the living manifestation of your sin. Let's see, chainsaw versus gun.
俺がすっげえドカンと頑張れば大丈夫でしょ。
I mean, you gave him the ultimate motivation. Yeah. Honestly, you could have told him anything right now. Just like, go out and fight God, and I'll grant your wish. And he would have said, yes, the God Devil.
移動速度が速すぎて悪魔がこの肉片を食べると銃の悪魔の力でどんな悪魔でも力を増す。この肉片がある程度の大きさになれば元の体の場所に戻ろうとするみたい。
So swallow
だから
some.
大きくすれば銃の悪魔にたどり着く。
ぱり獣野郎の肉片食べてたか。雑魚悪魔にしちゃ強かったからな。
So that's like Sukuna's fingers, or I guess also like Muzan's blood in Demon Slayer, where the one big bad devil, if it gets a little piece of itself to some of the underlings, they become even stronger.
悪魔は全部殺す。その先に奴がいる。
公安に悪魔の駆除要請。ホテル内部で悪魔の目撃。
First time the gang's rolling out together.
銃の悪魔の肉片を食べている悪魔です。
Right. This is the thing I keep referencing all the time, is like the infinite hotel.
銃の悪魔本人がいるんじゃねえの。肉片が大きいほど強く引き寄せられる。この程度じゃ違う。
He just wants to find him.
敬語はどうした？
What happens if they eat one? They're already pretty strong.
何の得もねえのに。
Just give him snacks, tell him to shut up.
先輩。
先輩。
そいつらに背中任せて大丈夫なんですか？
Well, little do you know.
悪魔駆除には基本この二人を先行させる。逃げたり悪魔にね。
I mean, yeah, it makes sense to have them be your spears, because they can take it.
あのいたずらはさすがにまずかったな。
あれはいたずらレベルじゃねえ。
The prank.
コウモリに殺されかけたと思ったらすぐ仕事だ。褒美くれ。
I just gave you gum.
今回の悪魔を倒した人にはなんと私がほっぺにキスしてあげまーす。
そんなことはやめてください。
You're so loose.
ご褒美あった方がやる気出るでしょね
Company. I've already got my reward in mind.
大丈夫。やる気はあっから。
おろ
But I mean, we won't say no to that. I mean, knowing what that kiss on the cheek turns into, would have rather it have just been on the cheek.
それに俺は大切なことを教わった。エッチなことは理解し合った人間同士でするから気持ちがいいんだ。
Yeah, I learned something like a couple hours ago.
へ
You just activated her.
ベロ入れたキスして。
Ah, right. You know, hindsight being 2020.
おい、待て。
I forget this guy's name, because he doesn't last long.
それをどうぞのチンピラに唇を奪われるくらいなら、ほっぺの
I'm gonna be the one to beat it.
姫野先輩、新人たちは
We're screwed.
新井くんは実力不足だけどやる気は
Right, right.
十分って感じ。小紅ちゃんは引っ込み思案だけどかなり動けるかな。
Oh, she's got the moves all right.
こいつは強いなと思ったやつも、そうでないやつも。
アキくんは死なないでね。
Ironic, because...
姫野、お前の新しいバディだ。うまくやれ。
I want the prequel show with this.
君は使えるの？
そう。も
私のバディ、君で6人目。
Sixth and last one.
アキくんは死なないでね。
Didn't know she adopted a main character.
来る。
Get to see a little bit of her power here now. Ugh. The thing.
捕まえた。
Finally, something to murder.
わしにビビって浮き合ったわ。違う、私の力。私は幽霊の悪魔と契約してるの。私の右目を食べさせた代わりにゴーストの右手を使えるってわけ。透明で力持ちで便利でしょ。
I like that part of the devil powers too. They can, I guess, sort of pay in advance with the body part to be able to permanently use some of its power. But then obviously we see later, you know, she gives up like basically her whole entire body to use the ghost's power. You can pay out more of it to get more power, which is why I'm shocked Aki doesn't use Kon more often. I mean, to be fair, he had to give up like what, skin on both arms to use it that time.
さっきみたいにわしの前で己の力をペラペラ喋ってよいのか？わしを制御するためじゃろ。
力を知ってた方が連携取れやすいでしょ。
じゃあわしがこいつを殺すと言ったらどうする？
武器を引っ込めな。
No messing around. It's a shame Himeno didn't stick around for long, because that's a pretty broken one.
う少し静かに。
The loop begins.
8階から9階へ行く階段を登りましたよね。ここも8階ですよ。
Isn't there a way to build like a looping staircase like that that makes it look like you're going up?
あれ
No, Kobani. Well, that was episode 5 of Chainsaw Man. That was a lot. It was mainly the fucking Makima scene that was just yapping, but I mean, we're getting into some interesting stuff now. We got a lot more characters. You got Himeno, Rai, and Kobani. I mean, from here on out, like, Denji's on the devil's radars because he's a special case, much like with him and then the knife devil that we'll see later, and then also, I assume, Gun to an extent, where there are humans that are, well, not possessed because Makima said he wasn't possessed. They can transform into a fiend. So that's what's interesting about, like, Pochita is, like, Pochita was a devil, technically, right? Or was he, like, some other creature? Because he was too cute to be a devil. But also, like, he didn't have Denji, like, give up anything in exchange to use his power. He just, like, let him use him as a chainsaw. Well, I mean, the whole, like, them giving up, like, body parts and stuff is a choice by the devil. Just because, like, they like to feed. But, like, Pochita never fed, really, on human stuff. Maybe that's why he was so weak, or just, you know, he was so small. He was a vegan devil. I mean, it's not like Denji could have fed him anything anyway. I mean, this is sort of the way he's feeding now, is he's feeding, you know, every time he transforms. I mean, this is what a lot of season 1 does, is like it introduces the characters, establishes them, and also establishes the world and just the idea of the powers. But whenever we get into obviously the movie and then season 2, whenever that maybe happens, I'm curious to learn more of the specifics of certain things, like, you know, Makima, Pochita, the different powers, even Kobani, you know, because we'll see a lot of her stuff later. This is cool though. This is one of the better episodes. I mean, every episode in this is pretty good, but this is one that really sticks with me. Again, I thought like the finger biting and then the chest touching were 2 separate scenes, but they're the same. I mean, it makes sense because, you know, he's motivated enough, and, well, I said enough about that. But now we're gonna put that motivation to the test, as he has both that and a kiss, potentially. But knowing what that kiss ends up being, would rather have not taken that deal. But either way, it's my reaction. Episode 5 of Chainsaw Man. Join me next time for episode 6. Everything else will be coming out soon. Till next time, I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.